I'm sitting at my desk, the hum of the office around me like white noise I've tuned out for years. My monitor glows with lines of code, a dashboard I built from scratch tracking every transaction, every user interaction, every hiccup in the system. It's 2:14 p.m. My fingers hover over the keyboard, ready to run my daily audit. Except today there's no point. The system doesn't need me anymore. Or so they think. The email came 3 weeks ago, buried in a thread I wasn't even CC'd on. Streamlining operations, it said. New protocols for system oversight. My name wasn't mentioned, but the subtext was clear. My role, my work, my existence here was being phased out. No meeting, no discussion, just a quiet erasure. I'd been cut from the loop, one snip at a time, fewer invites to sprint planning, fewer pings from the team, fewer reasons to show up. And yet here I am, staring at the dashboard, watching numbers tick up in real time, knowing I'm the only one who still checks the seams. I built this system, every line of code, every failsafe, every alert that's kept this company's platform running without a hitch for 6 years. Back when we were a scrappy startup with a server room that smelled like burnt coffee, I was the one who stayed late debugging crashes while the founders pitched to VCs. I didn't care about the glory. I cared about the logic, the elegance of a system that could scale without breaking. And it did. We went from 10,000 users to 10 million, and my dashboard was the heartbeat. Every day at 2:14 p.m. I'd run my audit, cross-check the logs, make sure nothing slipped through. It was my ritual, my proof that I'd built something unbreakable. Now they've replaced me with automation. Not even a person, just a shiny new tool, some off-the-shelf software they bought because it had a slick demo and a buzzword-heavy pitch deck. AI-driven optimization, they called it. I wasn't invited to the meeting where they decided to roll it out. I heard about it from a junior dev awkwardly over coffee. "Hey, you know about the new system, right?" He'd mumbled, avoiding my eyes. I didn't. But I nodded because what else do you do when you realize you're being written out of your own story? The worst part isn't the sidelining. It's the pretense. My manager, Priya, still smiles when she passes my desk, asks how I'm doing, like nothing's changed. The team still pings me for small fixes like I'm a utility bot. They can't quite unplug yet. But the big decisions, the ones that matter, those happen in rooms I'm no longer invited to. Last week, I overheard Priya talking to the CTO Vikram in the break room. "The new system's ready for the Q3 launch," she said. "We're projecting a 20% efficiency bump. My system was already at 98% uptime." What's 20% efficiency when you're already near perfect? But Vikram nodded, all smug confidence, and I stood there with my lukewarm tea invisible. I could have quit. Should have, maybe. But this place, this system, it's mine. Not in some possessive, ego-driven way. It's just the truth. Every protocol, every edge case, every contingency plan has my fingerprints. They can't erase that no matter how many emails they leave me out of. So I keep showing up, running my audits at 2:14 p.m., even though no one asks for them anymore. I tell myself it's habit, but deep down, I know it's defiance. A quiet refusal to let go of what I built. Today, though, something's off. I'm scrolling through the logs, same as always, when I notice a discrepancy. It's small, almost invisible, a single API call that's taking 300 milliseconds longer than it should. I frown, lean closer to the screen. The new system's supposed to handle these things, but it didn't flag this. I dig deeper, pulling up the raw data. The call's coming from a new module, one I didn't write. It's sloppy rushed, like someone patched it together without testing. I trace the source and my stomach twists. It's tied to the Q3 launch, the one Priya and Vikram were gushing about. The one they're betting the company's future on. I could report it. I could ping Priya, flag the issue, be the team player they expect me to be. But something stops me. Maybe it's the way they've treated me, like a ghost they're waiting to fade. Maybe it's the fact that no one's asked for my input in months. Or maybe it's the tiny rebellious part of me that wants to see how far they'll go before they realize they need me. So I don't say anything. I just save the log time-stamped 2:14 p.m. and close the window. The office is quieter now, most of the team filtering out for lunch. I stay at my desk staring at the dashboard. The numbers keep ticking steady as ever, but that 300 millisecond lag is still there, a crack in the foundation no one else sees. I wonder how long it'll take them to notice. I wonder if they'll notice at all. I lean back in my chair, the weight of the morning settling in my chest. I'm not angry, not yet. I'm just tired. Tired of being invisible. Tired of watching my work get credited to algorithms and executives who don't even understand it. But I'm not done. Not by a long shot. Because systems don't just run themselves. And sooner or later, cracks like that one they spread. It's 2:16 p.m. now. I close my laptop and head to the break room, my footsteps echoing in the empty hallway. For the first time in weeks, I feel something like clarity. They can try to erase me, but they can't erase the truth. And the truth has a way of surfacing even when it's buried under metrics and shiny new tools. I just have to wait. It's been 2 weeks since I spotted that 300 millisecond lag, and I haven't said a word. Not to Priya, not to Vikram, not even to the junior dev who still asks me for help with his rejects. I keep my head down, run my audits at 2:14 p.m. and watch the system hum along like nothing's wrong. But it's not nothing. The lag's still there and it's growing 400 milliseconds now, sometimes spiking to 500. It's still small enough to go unnoticed by the new system's shiny dashboards, but I know better. Systems don't just glitch like that. They fray. And when they fray, they unravel. The office feels different now, like I'm walking through a place I don't belong anymore. The team's buzzing about the Q3 launch, throwing around terms like game changer and disruptor in stand-ups I'm no longer invited to. I catch fragments of it anyway, overheard in the elevator, pieced together from Slack channels I'm still technically in, but never pinged. The new module, the one causing the lag, is their golden ticket. It's supposed to integrate real-time analytics with user behavior, tracking something my system already did, just without the buzzwords. But Vikram's sold the board on it, and Priya's leading the charge. They're calling it Next Gen. I'd laugh if it didn't sting so much. I'm at my desk, same as always, when I notice something new in the logs. It's 2:14 p.m., and I'm running my audit, scrolling through the data like it's a ritual I can't quit. The lag's not just in one API call anymore, it's spreading. 3 endpoints now, all tied to Next Gen. I dig into the code, and it's a mess. Hard-coded values, unhandled edge cases, no documentation. Whoever wrote this didn't expect anyone to check their work. I trace the commit history. It's not one person, it's a team, a contractor group they hired to accelerate delivery. No wonder it's sloppy. They're cutting corners to hit Vikram's deadline. I lean back, staring at the screen. My first instinct is to fix it. I could write a patch, clean up the endpoints, stabilize the system in a few hours. It's what I would have done a year ago, back when I was still indispensable. But now I hesitate. Fixing it means bailing them out. It means letting them keep pretending I don't exist while they take credit for my work. Again. My mouse hovers over the code editor, then drops. I save the log instead, time-stamped 2:14 p.m. and close the tab. The thing is, I'm not just sitting on this out of spite. I'm curious. Curious how far they'll push this before it breaks. Curious who's really behind Next Gen, because it's not Priya, she's a manager, not a coder. And Vikram, he's all vision, no execution. Someone's pulling the strings, someone who's okay with sloppy code and rushed timelines. I've got a hunch, but no proof. Not yet. I head to the break room for coffee, passing the glass-walled conference room where Priya's leading a demo. The team's crowded around a projector, nodding like they're witnessing the future. I catch a glimpse of the next-gen dashboard, sleek, colorful, all-style, and no substance. It's not built to last. I know, because I built the one that did. My coffee's bitter, or maybe that's just me. Back at my desk, I get a Slack from Lena, one of the few devs who still talks to me. She's young, barely a year out of college, and she's got that nervous energy of someone trying to prove herself. "Hey, you got a sec," her message says. I'm stuck on something. I meet her in the lounge where she's hunched over her laptop, frowning at a stack trace. It's a bug in NextGen, something about a null pointer in the analytics pipeline. I walk her through it step by step without mentioning what I know about the bigger issues. She thanks me, then hesitates. "You're not on the launch team, are you?" she asks, like she's just realizing it. "Nope," I say, keeping my tone light. "Just keeping the lights on." She looks guilty, like she's stumbled into something she shouldn't have. "It's weird, you know. You built all this and now—" She trails off, unsure how to finish. "Yeah," I say, "weird." I don't push her for more. She's not the problem. But her words stick with me, gnawing at the edges of my resolve. I go back to my desk and pull up the logs again, almost on autopilot. The lags hit 600 milliseconds in one endpoint. It's not critical yet, but it's trending in a bad direction. I could still fix it. I could still save them from themselves. But I don't. That night, I'm home staring at my ceiling, trying to figure out why I'm still here. Not just at the company, but in this headspace, holding on to a system that doesn't need me anymore. I think about 2:14 p.m., that quiet moment every day when I'd run my audits and feel like I was holding the world together. It wasn't about ego, it was about trust. Trust in the system, in my work, in the idea that good code could outlast politics and egos. Now that trust is gone, replaced by this slow, silent exile. And yet, I keep showing up. For what? To prove a point. To myself, to them. The next day, something shifts. I'm in a meeting, one of the few I'm still invited to, a low-stakes sync about legacy systems. Priya's there, distracted, checking her phone. Vikram's there too, leaning back in his chair like he owns the room. And then there's a new guy, someone I haven't seen before. He's introduced as Arjun, a consultant from the contractor group. He's polished all sharp suit and sharper smile, and he's talking about next gen like it's his baby. We're on track for Q3, he says, thanks to some innovative optimizations. I almost choke on my water. I watch him, the way he glances at Vikram, the way Vikram nods back like they're in on something. Priya's quiet, too quiet, like she's deferring to them. It's subtle, but I see it, the power dynamic, the real chain of command. Arjun's not just a contractor. He's the one pushing next gen, the one who's okay with sloppy code and rushed timelines. And Vikram's backing him, probably because Arjun's promising numbers the board can't resist. The meeting ends and I linger, pretending to check my notes. Arjun and Vikram stay behind, talking in low voices. I catch a snippet as I leave. "We'll handle the audit internally. No need to loop in legacy." Legacy? That's me. That's my system. I feel a spark of something, not anger, not yet, but clarity. They're not just erasing me. They're burying something bigger, something I built to last. It's 2:14 p.m. when I get back to my desk. I run my audit same as always, and the lag's worse, 700 milliseconds now, across 4 endpoints. I save the log timestamped and lean back. The cracks are spreading, and I'm not the only one who's going to feel them soon. I don't know what's coming, but I know the systems don't lie. People do. And at 2:14 p.m., I'm still the one watching. I'm starting to feel like a ghost, drifting through the office, seeing everything, but touching nothing. It's been a month since I first spotted the lag, and it's not just a glitch anymore, it's a pattern. The next-gen module is bleeding inefficiencies with delays, now hitting 900 milliseconds across 6 endpoints. I catch them every day at 2:14 p.m., my audits like a pulse I can't stop checking. The new system's dashboards don't flag it, they're too busy spitting out polished metrics for the board. But I see it. I see the cracks widening, and I still haven't said a word. The office is a machine now, churning toward the Q3 launch with a momentum I can't slow. Priya's in overdrive, scheduling demos and sending company-wide emails about unprecedented growth. Vikram's everywhere, shaking hands with investors, dropping buzzwords like synergy and disruption in every conversation. And Arjun, the consultant, is the shadow behind it all. He's in every meeting, every email thread, his name attached to every next-gen update. I've started noticing how he talks smooth, calculated, always deflecting questions about the tech itself. It's about the vision, he says, and Vikram eats it up. I don't know what Arjun's game is, but I'm starting to think he's not just here for a paycheck. I'm at my desk running my 2:14 p.m. audit when Lena pings me again. She's been reaching out more lately, small questions about the system like she's testing the waters. Today, she's in the lounge, her laptop open to a crash report. "It's next gen," she says, voice low. "Keeps throwing errors when we scale the load." I tried debugging, but... She trails off, glancing around like someone might overhear. I look at the stack trace. It's the same sloppy code I saw weeks ago now, causing memory leaks under stress. I could fix it in an hour. Instead, I walk her through a workaround, something to keep her demo running without touching the core issue. "Why don't you just tell them?" Lena asks, her eyes searching mine. "You know what's wrong. You could what I cut her off sharper than I mean to." "They didn't ask, Lena. They don't want me in the room." She looks down, fidgeting with her coffee cup. "It's not right," she mumbles. "You built this place." I don't answer. I can't. Because she's right, and it hurts more than I want to admit. I go back to my desk, the weight of her words sinking in. I open the logs again, almost out of habit, and the numbers stare back at me, 950 milliseconds, 7 endpoints. The system's still holding, but it's straining. I save the log timestamped 2:14 p.m. and wonder how long it can last. That night, I can't sleep. I'm replaying the last 6 years, every late night, every breakthrough, every time I fix something no one else could. I think about 2:14 p.m., that quiet moment when I'd run my audits and feel like I was part of something bigger. It wasn't about credit, it was about trust. Trust in the system, in the logic, in the idea that good work could endure. Now that trust is gone, replaced by this slow, suffocating silence. I keep showing up, but for what? To watch it all fall apart. To prove I was right. The next day, I overhear something that shifts the ground under me. I'm in the break room pouring coffee when Vikram and Arjun walk in mid-conversation. They don't see me. I'm just part of the furniture now. "The board's asking about redundancy," Vikram says, voice low. "They want to know if we can cut legacy support." Arjun laughs, sharp and cold. "Legacy's already dead. We're just waiting for the funeral." I freeze my hand on the coffee pot. Legacy. That's my system. My work. My 6 years. They're not just phasing me out, they're planning to scrap the whole thing, replace it with next-gen's flimsy code and Arjun's promises. I slip out before they notice me, my heart pounding. Back at my desk, I pull up the logs, my hands shaking. The lags hit 1,000 milliseconds, 8 endpoints. It's not just a problem anymore, it's a crisis waiting to happen. And they're too busy planning my system's funeral to see it. I could still speak up. I could walk into Priya's office, show her the logs, lay it all out. But what would that get me? A pat on the head? Thanks, we'll take it from here. They'd fix the bug maybe, but I'd still be invisible. Still legacy. I save the log timestamped 2:14 p.m. and close my laptop. I'm not ready to let them win, but I'm not sure what winning looks like anymore. The next morning, there's a company-wide email from Vikram. "NextGen's final stress test is this Friday," it says. "We're ready to redefine the industry." I read it twice, my stomach twisting. Friday. 3 days from now. They're going to push NextGen to its limits, and I know it's not ready. The lags, the leaks, the sloppy code, it's all going to collapse under real-world load. And my system, the one they're calling Legacy, is still running in the background, holding everything together. For now. I'm in a daze when Lena finds me in the lounge. She's nervous, her eyes darting around. I heard something she whispers. About Arjun. He's not just a consultant. He's got a stake in the vendor that sold us NextGen. Like a big one. I stare at her, the pieces clicking into place. Arjun's not just pushing NextGen because he believes in it, he's pushing it because he's profiting. Vikram's backing him, probably for a cut or a favor down the line. And Priya. She's either in on it or too deep to question it. It's not just about erasing me, it's about money power deals I was never meant to see. I feel sick, but also strangely calm. It's clarity, finally. "Thanks," I tell Lena, my voice steady. "Don't say anything." "Not yet." She nods, looking scared but relieved, like she's passed the weight to me. I go back to my desk, open the logs, and run my audit. It's 2:14 p.m. The lags at 100 milliseconds, 9 endpoints. I save the log timestamped and lean back. Friday's coming and with it the truth. Systems don't lie, but people do. And at 2:14 p.m., I'm still the one watching, waiting for the moment it all breaks open. It's Thursday, the day before the next-gen stress test, and the office is a pressure cooker. Everyone's on edge, rushing between meetings, double-checking scripts, polishing demos. I'm the only one who's calm, or at least I look it. Inside, I'm a mess of nerves and resolve my mind looping on the logs I've been saving every day at 2:14 p.m. The lag's up to 1/300 milliseconds across 10 endpoints now, a silent scream in the data that no one else hears. Tomorrow, they'll push next-gen to its limits, and I know it's going to crack. What I don't know is what I'll do when it does. I'm at my desk running my audit like always when Priya stops by. It's the first time she's spoken to me directly in weeks, and her smile is tight like she's forcing it. Hey, she says you're still running checks on the old system, right? Can you make sure it's stable for tomorrow? Just in case. Just in case. The words hang there heavy with everything she's not saying. She knows something's off with next-gen, or at least suspects it. Why else would she come to me now after months of silence? I nod, keeping my face neutral. Sure. It's stable. She hesitates like she wants to say more, then nods and walks away. I watch her go, wondering if she's starting to see the cracks, or if she's just covering her bases. Either way, it's too late. The stress test is tomorrow, and no amount of last-minute checks on my system will save next-gen from itself. I pull up the logs, and the numbers are worse than yesterday. 400 milliseconds, 11 endpoints. The memory leaks Lena flagged are compounding, and the sloppy code is buckling under simulated load. My system, the one they're calling Legacy, is still catching the overflow, keeping the platform online. But it's straining, and I can feel it in my bones. Tomorrow, something's going to give. Lena finds me in the lounge at lunch, her face pale. I overheard Arjun and Vikram. She whispers, barely audible over the hum of the coffee machine. They're planning to pin any issues on the legacy system. Say it's outdated, can't handle the new load. I stare at her, the spark of clarity from yesterday flaring into something sharper. They're not just erasing me, they're setting me up to take the fall. My system, the one that's been holding them together, will be the scapegoat if next-gen fails. And Arjun, with his stake in the vendor, will walk away clean, probably with a bonus for innovation. I feel a surge of anger, but I tamp it down. Anger won't help. Not yet. Thanks for telling me, I say, my voice steady. Keep this between us, okay? She nods, looking like she's carrying a secret too big for her. I go back to my desk, my mind racing. I could still speak up, lay out the logs, expose the truth before tomorrow. But who would listen? Vikram's got the board in his pocket, and Arjun's got Vikram. Priya might hear me out, but she's too deep in the launch to rock the boat. No, if I'm going to do something, it has to be tomorrow when the system speaks for itself. That night, I barely sleep. I keep thinking about 2:14 p.m. that moment every day when I'd run my audits and feel like I was part of something solid. It was never about being the hero. It was about the work, the logic, the trust in a system that didn't lie. Now that trust is gone, replaced by this game of deals and deflections, I think about Arjun's cold laugh, Vikram's smug nods, Priya's tight smile. I think about my system still running, still holding the line. And I think about tomorrow when it all comes crashing down. Friday morning, the office is electric. The stress test is scheduled for 2:00 p.m., and the conference room is packed with the team investors, even a few reporters invited to witness the future of the industry. I'm not invited, of course, but I'm there anyway, sitting at my desk, my laptop open to the logs. The dashboard I built is still running in the background, invisible to the next-gen fanfare, but keeping the platform alive. I watch the clock. 1:55 p.m. 5 minutes to go. At 2:00 p.m., the test begins. I can hear the buzz from the conference room muffled through the glass walls. Arjun's voice carries smooth and confident, talking about unprecedented scalability. I pull up the real-time logs, my heart pounding. The load ramps up and next-gen starts to choke. Lags spike to 2,000 milliseconds, then $3,000. Memory leaks cascade and the analytics pipeline crashes. My system kicks in, catching the overflow, but it's not enough. At 2:14 p.m., exactly, the platform goes down. The dashboard flatlines. The conference room goes silent. I sit there staring at the screen, my audit frozen at 2:14 p.m. The one time no one checked. I hear footsteps, voices, panic spilling out of the conference room. Someone's shouting about legacy failures. I save the log timestamped and close my laptop. This is it, the moment I've been waiting for, dreading, anticipating. The truth is out, but it's not clean or simple. It's a mess, and I'm still in the middle of it. Priya finds me, her face ashen. "What happened?" she asks, her voice shaking. "Your system was it." "It wasn't my system," I say, calm but firm. I open my laptop, pull up the logs, and show her. The lags, the leaks, the sloppy code, all of it time-stamped, tracked, undeniable. "This is next gen. This is what you rolled out." She stares at the screen, her mouth opening and closing like she's searching for words. "Why didn't you say anything?" she finally asks. I look at her, the woman who smiled while I was erased, and I don't hold back. "You didn't ask Priya. You stopped asking months ago." She flinches, and for a moment, I see something like guilt in her eyes. But there's no time to dwell on it. Vikram's storming over Arjun, trailing behind both of them, red-faced. "This is on you," Vikram snaps, pointing at me. "Your outdated system couldn't handle the load." I don't blink. I turn my laptop toward them, the logs still open. "Check the data," I say. "It's not my system. It's yours." Arjun's eyes narrow, but he doesn't argue. He knows I'm right, he's seen the code, probably knew it was shaky from the start. Vikram sputters, but the room's too chaotic for him to push the narrative. Investors are asking questions, reporters are typing furiously, and the team's scrambling to get the platform back online. I stand there, the ghost who's suddenly visible, and I feel a strange mix of vindication and exhaustion. The rest of the day is a blur. Emergency meetings, damage control, finger-pointing. I'm pulled into a room with Priya, Vikram, and a few board members, and I lay it all out, the logs, the lags, the truth. Arjun's there, quiet for once, his sharp smile gone. I don't know what'll happen to him or Vikram or the vendor deal. I don't care. I've done my part. At 2:14 p.m. the system spoke, and I was there to translate. It's been 3 weeks since the next-gen crash, and the office feels like a house after a storm. Everything's still standing, but the air's different, heavy with what's been broken. I'm still here at my desk running my audits at 2:14 p.m. Not because they asked me to, but because it's who I am. The system's back online, patched and limping, but it's my system again, at least for now. The logs I saved, time-stamped at 2:14 p.m. were the key that unlocked the truth, and I'm still processing what that means. The fallout was messy but swift. After I showed the board the data, every lag, every leak, every sloppy line of next-gen's code, the narrative Vikram and Arjun tried to spin fell apart. The board launched an internal review, and it didn't take long to trace the problems back to the vendor deal. Arjun's stake in the contractor group came to light thanks to Lena quietly passing along what she'd overheard to HR. Vikram's still CTO, but he's on thin ice, his credibility dented. Arjun's gone, his contract terminated with a vague email about strategic realignment. I don't know if there'll be legal consequences for their backroom deal, and honestly, I don't care. That's not my fight. Priya's still my manager, but she's different now. Quieter, less polished. The day after the crash, she pulled me into her office and apologized. Not a corporate "we value your contributions" apology, but a real one. Her voice cracking as she admitted she'd let the pressure of the launch blind her. "I should have listened," she said, and I believed her. I didn't forgive her, not fully, but I nodded because I'm tired of carrying grudges. She's been pushing to reintegrate me into the team, but it's slow. Trust doesn't rebuild overnight. The board asked me to lead a task force to stabilize the platform, a role I didn't expect. I said yes, not because I needed the validation, but because I couldn't let the system, my system, fail. We're rolling back parts of next-gen, keeping what works, and scrapping the rest. My dashboard's back in the spotlight, and the team's leaning on it to bridge the gap. Lena's been a lifeline, stepping up with ideas and quietly championing my work. She's young, but she's sharp, and I see a bit of myself in her, the part that believes in the code, not the politics. But the real change isn't in the office. It's in me. For months, I felt like I was disappearing, like every meeting I wasn't invited to, every email I wasn't CC'd on was erasing me. I kept showing up running my audits at 2:14 p.m. because I didn't know how to let go. Now I realize it wasn't about holding on to the system, it was about holding on to myself. That moment every day, 2:14 p.m., wasn't just a ritual. It was a promise I made to myself to keep showing up, to keep seeing the truth even when no one else did. And when the system crashed at exactly 2:14 p.m., it wasn't just vindication. It was proof that I was still here, still mattering, even in the silence. I'm not naive. I know the office will never be what it was. There'll be new launches, new buzzwords, new people trying to rewrite the story. But I'm done being a ghost. Last week, I started documenting my work, not just the code, but the why behind it, the logic, the care. I'm sharing it with Lena, with the junior devs, with anyone who will listen. I'm not doing it for credit. I'm doing it because systems don't just run. They're built, tended, understood. And I want that understanding to outlast me. Today it's 2:14 p.m. and I'm running my audit same as always. The platform's stable, the lag's gone, the dashboard humming like it's supposed to. I save the log timestamped and lean back in my chair. For the first time in months, I don't feel like I'm fighting to be seen. I'm just here doing what I do, and that's enough. The office hums around me, the team moving forward, and I'm part of it again, not in the way I was before, but in a way that feels truer. I think about the crash that moment at 2:14 p.m. when the system spoke, and I was there to translate. It wasn't revenge, and it wasn't triumph. It was healing, not because I won, but because I remembered who I was. The truth surfaced just like I always knew it would not because I forced it, but because systems don't lie. People do, but systems. They carry the weight of every choice, every shortcut, every truth left unchecked. And at 2:14 p.m., I'm the one who checks. I close my laptop and head to the break room, my footsteps steady. The conference room's empty now, no demos, no reporters, just glass walls reflecting the late afternoon light. I pour my coffee and Lena waves me over, asking about a new feature she's prototyping. I sit down and we talk not about the crash, not about the past, but about what's next. It's not perfect, but it's real. And for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm home.